Hey guys, Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and warmed up a little bit today, and I thought I'd come out and because I had to, we're going to talk about cutting the pattern. I had to get the wood out here. I had to get it all open in an open area, and it's cold. What I use, now many people have used FRP, plastics, all kinds of things. Okay, you're watching my video, and I'm telling you what we use. Okay, this is 1/8 inch Luan plywood. All right, not quarter, it's 1/8. Now, Home Depot and Lowe's probably doesn't have it. You're going to need to go to a specialty, well, not specialty, but a real lumber yard or something like that, and ask them to get some 1/8 inch plywood. Now, this is Meranti, it's this red stuff. But any BC grade 1/8 inch plywood will work. All right. We're going to make a pattern. I did a video, and I said, you guys call in and I'll send you a pattern. I took this, my pattern, made paper dolls of it, and mailed them out. Then I started thinking about it. Hang on, no plan. Jim's phone. Hey, Jim. Listen, real quick, but I'm on doing a video right now. Can I call you right back? All right, Jim. We'll talk to you soon. Don't go away. Bye-bye. This is how my day goes. Between making videos and talking on the phone, what we do. We're going to make a pattern now. I'm not going to send it to you. It was such a pain in the butt to mail it and roll it up and everything. I'm going to show you how to make a pattern yourself. All right? Go get a pen and a piece of paper. All right. First thing we're going to make, again, is the pattern, but we're going to do the pattern. There's 4 sides to a pattern. Excuse me. There's 4 sides. There's bottom, top, front, back. All right. First 2 cuts are going to be this, and then the overall width of it. Now, the height of this panel is 38¼ inches. Not 38, not 38½, 38¼ and I'll show you why in just a minute. Okay? This number is 17½. You can go 18 on this, but my pattern is 17½. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to cut this pattern. Now, cutting this plywood, it's 1/8 inch thick. It's pretty thin. Yeah. You could use a jigsaw. You could use one of these vibrating saws. Work pretty good. You can even use what we used for many years is this is electric jigsaw. We use an air jigsaw. But to be honest with you, today with as few tools that you have, I mean, I had a shop with everything in the world. But today, what you want to use is a razor knife. Now, you say this is a razor knife. This is really not a razor knife. This is a razor knife. Come take a look at this. This is an OLFA brand. OLFA brand. Stainless steel blade with break-off tips. And this is a 50-pack of blades for this knife. Okay? It's a razor knife. Very sharp. The thing is, you can break them off. You get a dull blade, you pop it off, and you got another sharp one. These are very sharp. Very sharp. I found out about this with doing window tinters. This is a tinter's knife. Okay? Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to take a piece of 1/8 inch plywood like this, And we want to measure 38 1/4 right there by 17 1/2. See, I've already cut those. Now, how do you cut it? Watch this Ultra knife. Piece of cake. Here, watch again. Cut once. Follow, your blade will follow yourself. Cut twice. You snap it. Very thin. Real easy to work with. Okay? Like I said, at the shop, we were using air saw. But to be honest with you, if you're doing your own, here you go. All right? So we're going to go in to the motorhome, and I'm going to take this piece that I cut. Don't look at this. I cut this in second. This overall piece. Okay? So stay with me. Let's go on over to the motorhome, and I'll show you this. Hey guys. Well, that's kind of cool, huh? Well, here's the piece. Remember I told you don't look at this? Well, don't look at these either. I cut this before. I'll show you about that in a minute. But here's our piece. Now, this rail at the bottom on a GM floor plan is a fixed size. That's why that number was so important. Because up here, I went ahead and thought about it, and I went ahead and pulled this up so nobody misunderstood. Right here in the top corner, you can see there's a 1/4 inch lip right there. You can stick something in there. And that runs front to back in this coach. All right? So if this lower piece down here is where it needs to be, all right? When you take this and put this in, it will go in right there. Now, this is the early 73, so they used a track here for the carpet. I mean, for the window treatment, a little track there. I'm not going to use that treatment, okay? I'm not going to use the rollers, but the thing is, I can use the other part of the H-mold and be just fine. So here's our pattern. Again, forget these two cuts. Okay, you put it in there. Up here. Put it in that track piece right there. You bow it out. Get it in the lower track. There it goes. Voila. That's why that measure is so important. Now, you move this forward. Remember, the track is the same front to back. Remember this. This is a pattern. We're going to use that number on every piece. And this is that correct number because it fits. All right? So, let's move it forward in the track. Now, remember I told you that when this was cut out, it hit the headliner right here. Okay? So you can see I cut this out. You say, well, how far do you cut it out? Look down here at the bottom. This is where I want it to come, right here. And you can see I cut this out even right here. I'll show you what I'm going to finish that off with later. But you measure from here to here. That's the distance that you want this panel to move over. So then you cut that slot out. Now, watch as I move it forward. There we go. In the groove here, in the groove there. All right. Now don't worry about the cutouts for the windows. I'll show you about that in the next minute. But you can see how this fits in. You can see how those numbers are so important. Now this number goes from here to here. All right. Now, we'll talk about the fit of all this stuff in just a second. All right, but you can see how these first two numbers are really, really important. All right, so let's go back, and I'm going to cut this for you, show you how to cut this. All right. All right. So as you saw, this popped right into place. And when it popped in, it went bang. That's why that number is so important. And I showed you in there that it moves all the way back and forth. Perfect size. And work on the other side too. When you move it forward, it hit the headliner piece right here. I showed that to you. And I cut this out. There we are. Overall piece fits perfect. All right. Now, I cheated a little bit because I took my pattern and measured for this cutout. But what you'll do is you'll pop that into place. You may have to make one or two, but you're going to follow the edge of the window on the outside. Remember I told you you had a 2-inch piece in here, plastic. Well, this is going to actually, would have been back here. So the pattern's going to make out and cover what that 2-inch piece covered and what this panel covered. This side, this is the A-frame window. This is like the driver window. This cutout will follow the window frame. All right? So come on with me and I'll show you that. All right? So stay, be right back. Come on. All right. This panel, when you put it in, I said, you put it in here, pop it in place, move it forward where it needs to be, and then mark out here. You say, well, how do I do that? For your early guys, remember, that's your track. This window will open. So you come in here with your marker from the outside of the coach and you just mark that. Make sense? Now on the other side, it's a little trickier. What I do is I'll take a Sharpie, put it in my finger, hold it back where it needs to be, hold the thumb right here and follow the contour and draw an approximate. Remember I said you may need to make a second one. After you do this, and you pop it in like this, you're going to look at it and say, yeah, I like it, or no, I want to do this or that. Don't feel bad. It's a pattern. A pattern could take 2, 3, or 4 times to make right. You make it, say, well, yeah, that's pretty good, but you know, if I had this corner here, make another pattern. The stuff's cheap. I mean, a 4x8 sheet of 1/8 inch is 15 to 20 bucks. You know, even at $25, the stuff's cheap. Okay. By the way, if you're going to do the entire coach, I would get 5 sheets. If you're going to do a headliner, which we'll have a video about headliner, you want 5 sheets. So if your interior is completely stripped and you're going to do it the way I'm talking about, buy 10 sheets of 1/8 inch 4x8 sheet of plywood. Right? So you're going to mark it to the back, and you're going to mark it to the back, and you're going to take it back to your bench, which I'm going to show you next, and you're going to cut these things out. All right, let's go do that. All right, so now we're going to cut this. Pop a new blade in here. we're going to follow the outside edge of my cut, of my mark, excuse me. Doesn't have to be perfect because there's going to be a trim out edge on that too. That's one cut. Two cuts. Tell you what, for extra measure, let's just do one more. Oh, it's gonna break off real nice now. There it is. Cut this little extra off. The third ply popped a little bit. It's really easy to trim up. Now we're going to cut this side. Yep, new blade. This is following the edge of the glass and actually following the frame. One cut. When you're doing a curve, it's not a bad idea to make 3 passes because you've got this corner. There it is. All right. Here's your front pattern for the driver's side. And passenger side, same thing. Come on in the coach and I'll show you how this fits. And we'll go from there. All right. Thank you, Jim. The pattern, right behind me here. The pattern now fits right into place. Right there. That one fits there. Well, you can make another one to fit over here. But this is actually your pattern. You don't want to use this. You want to cut another one of here. You say, daggone, that was a lot of work. That's right. You can spend an inordinate amount of time to make your pattern. Okay? Because, remember I told you this thing moves back and forth. Well, if you turned it over, and, well, don't turn it over. Turn it backwards this way. And you put it in here, and you can make a piece that will fit right in here, and it'll be the same curvature as the other side. You follow what I mean? So then you'll have a piece that goes from here to there, and from here to there. A little panel in the middle. So each window is going to get four panels. Each window is going to get 4 panels and 4 sides. Here's one side, 2 sides, 3 sides, 4 sides. So this, make this fit real nice. Matter of fact, you can see when you get it in, it's a little bit rough. You can sand it nice and smooth. Make it look real good. Make it fit really, really nice, because it will be your pattern for the entire coach. You follow? Here it is. Now, you guys that have trans modes, you want to put, if it does not have, like Royale's did one piece top to bottom. I would strongly suggest to put a 1/4-inch divider bar horizontal at, what was the number, 38 and a quarter, 38 and a quarter down, and then build your side panels this way. GM had a great idea. They built all these side panels, had the number from here to there the same, and just put them all in and built them. Okay. Now, you say, what's going to go on the end of this? Right here. What's going to trim out that this window? Well, I like to make things with nothing. And when I had a shop, I tried to make something for Janie for Mother's Day. You can see here, I made her a little plaque, Happy Mother's Day, out of a piece of diamond plate, out of a piece of, this is the back side of a piece of diamond plate, and I trimmed it with what I call bulb seal trim. So now I got to put this back on. This bulb seal trim, if you'll look at it, has a 1/4-inch grabber for the end of the wood right here, but then it has this, I call it a gimp, has a hollow bulb. So here's what it looks like on the outside. So let's see what this thing does. So we're going to put this stuff on the edge. Now, you can also cover your panel with laminate or vinyl or whatever, because this stuff will bow out and take advantage, because it'll get a little bit thinner, or thicker, I'm sorry. So let's put this in. Where it needs to be. Right there, where it needs to be. And this is what your trim's going to look like. See how it comes right to the window? Let me take a look. See how it comes right to the window? This looks like another fold of the window frame. You see what's in there. It keeps you from looking behind it. Just gimps it out. And in places that's a little bit wider, it'll bulb out. Where it has to be narrower, it goes in. So there's your finish. This is 1/4-inch bulb trim seal. This has a 3/4-inch bulb on the back side, so it will gimp up to 3/4 of an inch and go down to 1/8 of an inch, or 1/4 of an inch. When you look at your window, you see it's just going to be a nice little fold. Now, got to shorten this video up a little bit, but last but not least is insulation. Now, the blown foam that GM put in is pretty good insulation. Some people have dug it all out and started over. That's a lot of work for no apparent reason, because this stuff does work well. But there are gaps. You see gaps in different places that they did not put the foam in. Well, here's what you want to use. On the back side of this panel, now this panel will be up here. You got aluminum, foam, air. Air is a good gap, all right? And on the back side of this, we're going to glue bubble foil. This is chrome mylar bubble foil, 1/4-inch thick, okay? You say, where do I get this? Well, good news on that. I used to have to buy it in big rolls, and the dimensional weight was so much that the shipping was stupid. Not Home Depot, sorry, Lowe's. Lowe's sells this stuff in rolls. We did the numbers and we found that I could buy a bunch of rolls of this from Lowe's, and it's cheaper than having to buy a huge roll in commercial grade bulk and pay the shipping. So you glue this to the back of here, you cut it off, and you've added a layer of insulation to the coach, and it's Mylar. It will shed a little bit of water if there's a leak in here, but you better fix that. But this is a finished look that over the years many folks appreciated. Right there. All right. Well, we're going to next, I'll finish this window off on the next video. But think about this a minute. I told you guys that I don't sell fish anymore, but I'll tell you how to fish. All right. This pattern tells you how to fish. You can cut your own side panel, the whole coach, with this one pattern. Okay. Well, thanks for the time. I hope you learned something there. Please hit like and on YouTube. And send me comments on Patreon. Ranch Hands, I appreciate the support on this. I hope this answers some of it. The next videos will go to finish it off and trim it off, but you can see where we're going. Right? All right. See you next time.